work your way up. Let's see. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? He thinks you're on a dark path right now, but there's no reason you can't find a wheelhouse and get yourself turned around. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Feels like the world's on a runaway chug straight over a cliff. Says the world might have lasted longer if you hadn't stomped on the go pedal so hard. Thinks you shouldn't work with the Jagni. They once tried to bolt one of their masks to his face. They did an awful job of it. Took forever to get those bolts out. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Figures that's true, but they can get you close enough to most things for most reasons. You can stumble along from there. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Sharp shirt. Not really. Wired up and ready to go. At various stages of life, we all become memories for others, and just seeing someone acts as a catalyst for the past to seep in again. Memory distortions are troubling. Illusions your mind creates to avoid the memories of being bullied as a kidling. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. You weren't supposed to know how to start the automaton pew-pew pang, but clearly you figured that out way back then. Don't distract this beastie, it's working. The Wingnut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever. Wham! How far underground do you think you are? Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. You're bruised. Slash and dash. plenty of key. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. Choo-Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason. But he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo-Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Says he's glad to see it in good hands, rough as they might be.
Getting darker around here by the minute.
There's still time. Dark hasn't won yet.
Oh, but it will, and we'll take our time to enjoy it.
Just like you to enjoy the end of everything.
Hey, even endings have to end.
Choo-Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo-Choo has no use for it now. Choo-Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Says he can't see the end of your rails, but if you grease them up good, he hopes you'll enjoy an easier ride. Choo-Choo's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be, and no rails needed.
Why?
Bets it could fly circles around any chug yard. Makes him dizzy to think about it.
Koi.
With the world ending and all the chugs going with it, it's fun to think about what kinds of yards the Ark could take you to instead. Hopes you'll be careful with the Ark. That's the last one around these parts. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So what we have here is someone looking for a way out if everything fails. There's a seat open on the Ark, but why would you want this company?
What really happens when you make a conscious choice to be alone is that you abandon a part of your life that was supposed to be filled by someone else.
Let's agree that a conscious choice is better than an unconscious one. It's only when you stop listening to your own thoughts that you're truly alone.
But it's hard to discover the astonishing light of your own being if you are too lonely or close to darkness.
Regardless, you'll never lose the company of yourself. At least you'll have that all the way to the end.
Hopes you figure out someone better to ride the Ark with you, if that's possible. Choo Choo says he's ready to pack up and leave. Says you should take care. You're here for a reason. It's up to you to figure out. Wiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merkpuff until the octopod is properly armed. He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off. Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world. Chop it up. plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off. The pyro sticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least now you have a chance to hurt the Merc Puff where it counts. You should aim for the head. That's the Merc Puff's weak spot. Thinking doesn't seem to be his strong point. Wiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyro sticks, it squirts guppos, scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Merc Puff in particular. Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gil. He has a natural sonar and knows where the guppos sub the surf. This means you'll have to go visit Gil at Burblebottom. Find Gil and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos. Guppos are You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. The end is coming to the world and everything else. Let's see. This is Burblebottom, residence of Gil. Happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you. Figures it's impossible. As bad as the air might be, the goo is even worse. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow or against? Once you see which way the waters flow, it's a lot easier to go where they're going, even if that's over the edge of the world. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Thinks life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Wonders who would want to. The right wave takes you where you want to go. Figures he's ridden his last wave, though, what with the world coming to an end. Doesn't understand why you made the goo gooier. Can't stomach how you hang with the Jagni. They keep so much stuff for themselves that they could share with the world. Claims they have way more than they need, and the rest of the world suffers for it. But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there. Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills. He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison. Claims the surf is poison now. Anything that drinks it becomes poison too, including the Tree of Life. His friend Wiz needs guppos for one reason or another, and Gil is ready to point you in the right direction. But here, you're only going to find dead ones. He's pretty sure Wiz wants them alive. Well, at least the ones that aren't already rotting. If you head in the right direction, you'll find a clean enough bit of surf to snag yourself some guppos. Then you can get them to Wiz for whatever he has in mind. He doesn't have any guppos, and Wiz is particular about the kind he needs. This is Guppy Grotto. Gonna need a key of some kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's interesting. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Nothing here has ever known the cold. That seems to be enough guppos to provide the octopod with infinite ammunition. He's surprised the Merkpuff's been able to hold its breath all this time. It's just another proof of the evolutionary change caused by Toxanol's contamination. Being undersurf has meant the Merkpuff has been left alone to munch on the root down there undisturbed. This means the northwest route has suffered more damage than the others. He's sure there's enough time to confront the Merkpuff, but he worries if the world has enough years left to last his lifetime, even if you stop the World Eaters. That was the last of them. You've sealed the fate of the tribe and the tree. It's time for the end game. You have your destiny. Follow it all the way back to Out of Date. He never told anyone about what's next, but he's sure it involves you. Just make sure you don't let anyone but yourself control your destiny. You've come too far for that. The tribe comes first. It's time to return to the tree one last time. He's learned you discovered and activated the last of the arcs. How exciting. Old doesn't always mean bad, especially when talking about tech from the before times. We've lost far more than we've relearned. It's heartbreaking that so much will be lost when this world ends, but the Ark can take you to new places for fresh starts. The world had a far better chance before you came back here, but you had a destiny to fulfill. Questions if you could possibly have any open spaces left for fellow travelers on that Ark of yours.
So what we have here is someone looking for a way out if everything fails. There's a seat open on the Ark, but why would you want this company?
What really happens when you make a conscious choice to be alone is that you abandon a part of your life that was supposed to be filled by someone else.
Let's agree that a conscious choice is better than an unconscious one. It's only when you stop listening to your own thoughts that you're truly alone.
But it's hard to discover the astonishing light of your own being if you are too lonely or close to darkness.
Regardless, you'll never lose the company of yourself. At least you'll have that all the way to the end.
He didn't really want to go with you. Claims he was just asking out of politeness. Wiz knows it's the same old, but he likes talking to you. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. It feels like an ancient dungeon down here. Out of Date says the signs of the end of the world are everywhere. It seems nature is preparing to take revenge. The day of reckoning is coming, and you are invited. He can feel you're approaching the end date. If you haven't decided whom of all like-minded, dark-souled beings you've met have earned a seat on the Ark yet, it's time to do that now. Then grasp your last chance to make sure Lupa Lupin's stopped for good. The tree settled its score, but it left yours half done. He says you need to see Lupa Lupin eye to eye one last time. He's happy to help. We'll be around when you return. Yippee-ki-yay! The Sifu is seeking revenge too. He hasn't forgotten what Lupa Lupin did, but he also wants to stop him from attacking his tribe. Now that the world as we know it seems to end, he wants to make sure the Lupin ends with it. He hopes you agree. It suits your dark nature. There's no room for predators in the world the Jagni tribe is building. But he knows this is your fight. You should handle it. Lupa Lupin's own fear was his shackles, not the roots of the tree. It just changed him. You have a chance to stand back and let the tribe handle it. Ready to step into the fray. Are the odds about to change in your favor? If a friend dies, something inside you dies. You can save the Sifu by making yourself a target. You're Shockwaves spread when the world crumbles. This is not a prophecy, me telling you about the future. It's you shaping it. Here's a vulgar display of power. The stronger he becomes. It's time you remember who the real enemy is and stop playing the game his way. This is how it ends. The Predator and the world itself suffering. But at least it's a sign they're both still alive.
So, what we have here is a clear matter of life and death. And only you can make a difference.
Ruining someone else's life for revenge comes with a price. There's no change of heart this time. I hope it was worth it.
Change of heart? There was only ever one way this choice was going to be made. The right one.
The right choice. Doing good and keep doing good all the way until the end would have been best.
The best? That's justice. And the justice we deserved was revenge. We got what we came for.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. There's no peace without forgiveness. It's no better time than now to accept a helping hand. Do you wonder what turn life might have taken if you'd done things different? A left when you went right? A yes when you said no? You saw a world drenched in its own cruelty and didn't sway from your path. And so, a great cataclysm draws close. Life doesn't care about heroes and happy endings. Bad things can lead to good. A seed of life, the beginning of something new. You balanced the dark within a world imbalanced in its light nature and made a difference in a place that needed change. You allied with the Jagni tribe and became omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. However, light and dark does simply represent the polarities of life. One can't exist without the other. This is how it begins. The world's headed towards rebirth of a primal paradise as evolution paves way. We're at the mercy of nature. So, trust your conscience to show you the way, and everything else will follow. As foretold, you were destined to split the chains of this world. But you're not alone. The few that shared your perspective and gained your trust will accompany you on your journey. Is there a world out there that's better suited for those imbalanced in their dark nature than this one? Whether or not, we'll leave your story on record, so those who come after will know you followed your dark nature and let the world end to start anew. So, when all is said and done, it turned out to be an unusual ending after all. What could be better than ending the story the right way? Ending it your way, a beginning of something new.